All right, managers, here we go. Welcome to the single most anticipated event of our entire fantasy football offseason, the 2025 WDE Rumble Draft Order Reveal. The digital gladiators have battled it out, the pixels have settled, and believe me, your fate for this season is sealed.
Okay, let's get right into it. The wait is finally over. We ran 15, that's right, 15, grueling seasons of simulated Madden football, and the results are officially in. We've seen dynasties rise and fall in this crazy virtual universe, and now it is time to see exactly where you stand. Look, we're not going to waste any time. We are jumping straight into the action, counting it down from the very last pick, number 12, all the way up to that coveted, beautiful number 1 spot. So let's see who's got some serious soul-searching to do before draft night.
Oof, and we're starting with a tough one. 8 lands returns, and their Falcons, man, they just could not find any momentum in the Madden multiverse. They really struggled to crack that top tier across all 15 seasons. But hey, look, with those back-to-back picks on the turn, you can never count them out.
Yeah, the jungle was pretty quiet in this simulation. For Orange Nation, their Bengals just couldn't seem to roar when it mattered most, landing them just one single spot from the bottom. They're going to have to absolutely nail their early round picks to bounce back from this spot. You know what the team name Pain and Suffering? It turned out to be pretty fitting for the simulation, didn't it? They showed these flashes of absolute brilliance, but in the end, Madden gave them more pain than promise. So the big question now is, with the 10th pick, do you play it safe or swing for the fences? The Nashville Ninjas, they had some incredibly clutch moments, especially right in the middle of the simulation. But they just couldn't consistently slice through that top-tier competition. It's a solid but not spectacular finish for them at number 9. And that's a tricky spot to draft from. You often just miss out on that truly elite tier of talent.
Man, you'd think Superman would fly a little higher, right? Especially when you've got a powerhouse team like the 49ers. But even with that loaded roster, Clark Kent, formerly known as Willie Beeman, couldn't escape a mid-tier finish. The 8th overall pick, this is where your drafting skill is really put to the test.
The Outlaws, a classic wild card performance in the sim. The Cowboys put together a few really clutch playoff runs. You could see that championship DNA, but they could never quite break through for the ultimate glory. Picking at 7, you're just praying a top-tier guy unexpectedly falls right into your lap.
This is a very respectable finish for the footballers. They were flashy, they were fast, but the sim just couldn't quite replicate that real-world Chiefs magic, landing them the 6th pick. I mean, they're in a prime position here to grab a top running back or receiver to build their whole team around.
Okay, now we're talking. We're cracking the top 5. This was an impressive underdog run. I gotta say, the Texans had their Texans consistently overperforming, just climbing the ranks throughout the whole 15 seasons. That's a very, very solid draft spot at number 5.
Now this result is really interesting. Iamaloos and their Lions got hot, and I mean red hot, late in the simulation. A super powerful finish just catapulted them right into the top tier. That 4th pick could be incredibly dangerous in the right hands.
And just like that, we're on the podium. Taking the bronze medal, it's Jake the Snake. We're talking consistency, we're talking grit, and what looked like a really high Madden IQ to get him here. They were a legit contender from the very start of the simulation. Picking 2nd overall, yet. Big Blue brought the big energy. Machiteros and their Giants were an absolute force across all 15 seasons, just crushing it year in and year out. They're going to have their choice of pretty much any star in the league with pick number 2.
And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. This manager absolutely dominated the Maddenverse. A dynasty in pixels, a champion in the simulation, the first overall pick goes to Bring It and the Baltimore Ravens. 15 seasons of highlights have led them right here to the top of the mountain. So, you've seen the results. The order is set. And you're probably asking, how in the world did we get here? Whether you're celebrating right now or just groaning, it all came down to a very specific, data-driven process. So let's break it down. It was actually a pretty simple 3-step process. First, each of you got assigned a unique NFL team. Easy enough. Second, we took all 32 teams and simulated 15 full Madden seasons. And third, and this is the important part, the final draft order is based on the total points each team accumulated, from most to least. No funny business, just the numbers. And here it is, the tale of the tape. You can see the full, authoritative breakdown right here. From Bring It's absolutely dominant 349 points at the top, all the way down to ATLian's returns 202 points, which unfortunately landed them in that 12th and final spot. The data doesn't lie.
But, and this is a big but, the simulation is only half the story. This is where things get really, really fascinating. Let's compare these Madden results with how you all actually finished in the real-world league last season.
Okay, let's start with maybe the biggest shocker of the whole reveal. Your 2024 league champion, the Outlaws, who finished with a stellar 11-3 record, saw their Cowboys fall to a middle-of-the-pack 7th pick in the Madden sim. That is a tough reality check for the reigning champ. And then you flip the script completely. I mean, talk about a total 180. We see a complete reversal of fortune for Bring It. They went from a dismal 3-11 record in the real world last season to having their Ravens absolutely dominate the simulation for the #1 overall pick. Unreal. And how about this for a fortunate twist of fate? The team that finished dead last in 2024 with a 2-12 record, I'm a lose, managed to secure an elite top 4 pick because their Lions just got red hot in the simulation. What a turnaround. You gotta love it. Okay, so the order is set. The drama is real, but the question is, what does all of this actually mean for draft night? Let's look ahead. Hey, remember that late surge from Ayamalu's? That powerful finish in the sim earned them a pick that is truly, truly dangerous. I mean, coming off a last-place finish, having the 4th overall pick is a massive opportunity to grab a game-changing talent and completely reshape your entire roster. And that, my friends, brings us to the final lingering question. With simulation luck and proven real-world fantasy skill telling 2 completely different stories, who is going to be the one to build the next championship dynasty? Will it be the manager who got lucky in the sim, or the one who has to prove their skill from a tougher spot? Get your draft boards ready, because we're going to find out soon enough.